Hello, I'm David Barlow. I'm a Hawaii auto accident injury lawyer. Today we're going to be talking about the subject, what is wrong with the Hawaii auto accident legal system? Where do I begin? This is kind of an injury lawyer's time to vent and complain about all the stuff we don't like about the auto accident system in Hawaii. So let's start with just the basics, all right? The insurance coverage in Hawaii is just not enough, all right? This year, they did double it. It's still not enough, but, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. So they did double it from 20,000 minimum to 40,000 minimum for coverage that insurance companies are required to provide. Now, I guess compared to a lot of other states, this is getting up there as far as being very competitive with other states and being viewed as a pretty good minimum amount. Injury lawyers, in our opinion, we would like that to be a lot more, 50, 100. Honestly, it's just so sad and unfortunate that there are so many accidents in Hawaii where people are very seriously injured and the insurance available was only 20, but now it's still just 40. We get a lot of accidents, a lot of clients that deserve way more than $40,000. So you just gotta kind of cross your fingers and hope for the best that the person happened to buy more insurance or that you have UIM coverage. This is the underinsured motorist coverage that covers you if the person that hit you did not have enough insurance. Now, maybe that's what everyone looks at, why the legislature and everybody allows these to be low amounts, because they figure if you really cared, you would just buy extra UIM coverage. And that's true. I mean, it's actually pretty cheap, so we definitely recommend that everybody buy more, as much as they can afford. Again, it's not that much, but maybe buy an extra 100 or 300,000 in UIM coverage so that you can be at peace knowing even if somebody hits you and they don't have insurance or they have the minimum of 40,000, that you still will have plenty of coverage for your auto accident injuries. So that's our first complaint, is too low of insurance. But this also applies to the no-fault insurance. That is only 10,000. And it's been 10,000, I guess we could look it up, probably at least 30 years. But since I've been practicing for the past 20 years, it's always been just 10,000. This is the medical coverage that you have if you are injured in an accident. No matter whose fault it is, they have to provide $10,000 in medical coverage. Well, 20 years ago, that was, I guess, not terrible. But nowadays, the medical care, the prices are just skyrocketing, especially ER is just insane, the amounts of medical bills that ERs are trying to charge. And I get it, there's the inflation, all their employees need to be paid more, everything costs more, energy, everything else, but it's tough. It's tough when you see these humongous ER bills and there's only $10,000 in coverage. So definitely, that's definitely something that's wrong with the insurance or the system in Hawaii, is that we need a higher amount of no-fault insurance. Moving along. One big thing that as injury lawyers that is really hard for us to see is how easy the laws are for people that do not have insurance and do not have driver's licenses. As far as we know, there's no requirement to tow vehicles where the person did not have insurance or a driver's license. So look at this scenario. Someone's driving around, they don't have insurance, they don't have a license. In other words, they don't have motivation to drive safely. They obviously have had issues in the past. So we don't want them driving around if they don't have a license or insurance. Well, let's say they get in an accident, police come, do the police report, tell the person, okay, here's your ticket, show up in court in a month to talk about your no insurance or your no license, and they watch them get in their car and drive away. Do you not see how this just does not make any sense? They don't have a license to drive. Just because they got a ticket doesn't mean we should watch them get in the car and drive away. You know? So in Hawaii, this is a big problem. We have clients where they've been injured by somebody that has been in multiple accidents in the past year or over the past several years. Just countless accidents, countless tickets, because once they go down that road of not having insurance or not having a license, then they're kind of stuck on that road. We're probably in a bad situation anyway to send them down that road. But the more tickets they get, it gets more and more impossible for them to reverse that, pay what they have to pay, get insurance, get a license. And so then they just drive around like that forever. Okay, usually they have an older car because it has no insurance. So they don't care about the damage, and they just go around injuring people. This is crazy. This is a problem in Hawaii. They got to change that law where you don't have a license, you're not getting that back in that car. You don't have insurance, you shouldn't be able to get back in that car. We should tow these vehicles if they doesn't have a license or insurance. Simple as that. People cannot be out there driving around like that. Okay, so that's a big problem with the system in Hawaii. Now, the next thing, this might not be a Hawaii issue. This might just be a life in America issue. Just the fact that most juries, when we go to court, go to a jury trial, 12 random people from the community. A lot of them have not been in accidents. A lot of them are missing work to be there. They're losing money because they're not working. They're not in a good mood, right? They're obviously in that situation, they're not going to be fair to the person that's injured. And sadly, there's also this belief out there, I guess. I don't know if it's the social media, the news, the jokes, the documentaries, whatever it is. In general, most of the population are sick of injury lawyers. They're sick of people suing to get tons of money. They think that people are faking their injuries. They've seen the stories about the hot coffee and the McDonald's, people getting millions because they spilled hot coffee on themselves. There's just this narrative out there. Not sure if it's actually pushed by the insurance companies or not, or if it's just an organic narrative that just makes things really difficult for people that are injured in accidents. Believe me, I've been doing this 20 years. No one that comes to see me is happy they were in an accident. They all wish that never happened to them, that they had their car back, that they weren't injured. No one is glad they were in an accident. No one thinks, oh, this is like hitting the lottery. I'm gonna get tons of money. It's just so rare. There's just so few people out there like that, faking injuries, malingering to not, get better from their injuries. That's just so rare. We just have rarely seen it. Almost all of our clients, 99%, they didn't want to get that accident. They don't want the injuries they have. They want their car back. They don't like that their life has been completely upended because of this accident. All they want is compensation to pay for their wage loss, pay for their medical bills, give them compensation for their pain and suffering, for everything they went through. You just really can't hardly put a price on it. Your time, your stress, your frustration from being in a car accident, it's, hard to even put a price on that. So, that's something that's wrong. I don't know if it's just Hawaii or our culture, our society in general. But if you're listening to this and you're on a jury or just judging people that have been in accidents, just try to be open-minded. Try to keep in mind these people did not want this to happen to them. Yeah, it may appear that they're trying to get every dollar that they deserve. And to be honest, they deserve as much as they can get. I mean, they deserve full compensation for their injuries. Even when we get people their settlement check, rarely are they just like jumping up and down. They can't believe how much money they got. They're just so excited. That's just so rare. They're usually just like, oh, cool, I got money to pay my bills, to compensate me for everything I went through. They're happy it's resolved, but they're definitely not happy it happened to them. So let's just keep an open mind out there and try to be sympathetic to people that have been injured in accidents. Trying to think if there's any other things I could think of right now that's wrong with the legal system in Hawaii. I'm sure I could think of 10 more, but we'll just leave it at that. So definitely give us a call if you've been in a car accident, and we will definitely do everything we can to get you the maximum compensation you deserve for your car accident injuries. Thank you.